All right, welcome back to the 21 Boom guided meditation. This is Coach Zach Feeney, and I will be your guide. Thinking of the doing mind underlies the rumination of depression, the worry of anxiety, and the restless striving of the stressed out state. Two ways of knowing: settle yourself into a comfortable position on an upright chair and close your eyes. Take a moment or two to think about your feet without looking at them. What thoughts arise when you bring your feet to mind? There might be thoughts of liking or disliking, of wanting them to be different, thoughts of where they've taken you or problems they've caused you, thoughts of what. There's no need to control your thinking in any way. Just let the thinking unfold naturally. Take your time, give yourself a moment or two to think about your feet. Next, bring your attention right into your feet without looking at them. Allow awareness to sink into and feel your feet from inside to outside, from the bones right out to the skin itself, sensing the bones within the feet, feeling the sensations of touch on the skin, the sensations in the soles of the feet, the sense of touch, pressure, and contact where the feet touch the floor, exploring the boundary between the feet and the floor. Now clench your toes a little, drawing them in as close as you can, paying attention to the physical sensations in the toes, soles, and body of each foot. Directly sensing the pressures in the toes, feeling the tightness in the muscles, the flux and flow of bodily sensations throughout the feet, ankles, and legs. And now just ease the grip of the toes, keeping the awareness in your feet, noticing the changes in the sensations in the feet and the toes as they relax. Finally, before you change position, take a few moments to get a sense of your body as a whole sitting here. But what did you notice while you were thinking about your feet? Thinking and memory, central to the doing modes of way of knowing, can take us a long way from the immediacy of present experience. What did you notice when you tuned in directly to the sensations in your feet? Directly sensing the body weakens the chatter of the mind. The direct knowing of the being mode means we can stay closer to immediate, bare experience and are less likely to be carried away by thoughts. What for you was the most striking difference between the two ways of knowing? Thinking about your feet versus placing your attention inside the sensations of your feet. In doing mode, we know about our experience only indirectly through thought. In this mode, we can easily get lost in rumination and worry. Through mindfulness, we discover another kind of knowing, a quieter, wiser voice that is usually drowned out by the louder shouts of the thinking mind. In this direct relating to experience, we are simply aware of our experience in the moment. The knowing is in the awareness itself. When we mindfully encounter something unpleasant, rather than having ideas about it, we relate to it as experience, sensing it, feeling it. There is a beautiful simplicity in this knowing. It allows us to connect immediately with a greater freedom and ease. When we find we are lost in thinking, refocusing attention to become directly aware of sensations in our bodies provides a way to release ourselves from the world of thoughts. So again, settle into a comfortable position. And when you're ready, you can listen to this scenario I'm about to describe and take a moment or two to imagine the scene as vividly as you can. You may find it helpful to close your eyes and take all the time you need. See if it is possible to engage fully with the imagined scene. You are walking along a familiar street. You see someone you know on the other side of the street. You smile and wave. The person makes no response, just doesn't seem to notice you, walks past without any sign of recognizing your existence. Imagine that scene now. What thoughts and feelings went through your mind? You may have noticed that the thoughts can be different from person to person, and they go to different feelings. Exactly the same situation can call forth a wide range of thoughts and interpretations, and it is these, rather than the situation itself, that shape the way we feel. If we think someone is ignoring us because we have done something wrong, we feel upset. If we think someone is deliberately ignoring us, we feel angry. If we think the person is preoccupied with his own worries, we feel concerned, and so on. But crucially, we are often unaware of our interpretations of situations. Mindfulness can help us become more aware and give us the freedom to respond differently. Our emotional reactions reflect the interpretations we give to situations rather than the situations themselves. Our interpretations of events reflect what we bring to them just as much as the reality of the events themselves. Thoughts are not facts, they are mental events. Our moods affect how we interpret events in ways that keep the moods going. So during the week this week, practice these exercises for 6 out of the next 7 days if you can. The body scan, like from last week, mindfulness of breathing, bringing awareness to routine activities, and potentially making a pleasant experiences calendar. The body scan gives us a great way of training our attentional muscle. moving through the engage, remain, disengage cycle many times. It helps us get back in touch with our bodies and out of our heads. Each time we notice we have been lost in thinking offers a precious opportunity to practice the move from doing to being. That is the way to freedom. It can be really helpful to remember that kindness is the foundation for all skillful practice. Whatever has happened in the past, we can always begin again right now by actually doing the practice rather than dwelling on our previous failures to practice. And at the end of the week, you might like to take a few moments to reflect on your experience of the body scan as a whole over the last few weeks. Mindfulness of breathing, a sitting meditation, is a core practice. It takes center stage in our daily practice. And we're going to do that now. So settle into a comfortable sitting position, allowing your back to adopt an erect, dignified, and comfortable posture. Not stiff, but a posture that embodies your intention to be present and awake. If sitting on a chair, place your feet flat on the floor with your legs uncrossed and gently close your eyes. And bring your awareness to the level of physical sensations by focusing your attention on the sensations of touch and pressure in your body where it makes contact with the floor and whatever you are sitting on. Spend a moment or two exploring these sensations just as in the body scan. Now bring your awareness to the changing patterns of physical sensations in your lower abdomen, in the area around the navel, as the breath moves in and out of your body. When you first try this practice, it may be helpful to place your hand on your lower abdomen and become aware of the changing patterns of sensations where your hand makes contact with your abdomen. Having tuned into the physical sensations in this area in this way, you can remove your hand and continue to focus on the sensations in the abdominal wall. Focus your awareness on the sensations of slight stretching as the abdominal wall rises with each in-breath, and of gentle deflation as it falls with each out-breath. As best you can, follow with your awareness the changing physical sensations in the lower abdomen, all the way through as the breath enters your body on the in-breath, and all the way through as the breath leaves your body on the out-breath, perhaps noticing the slight pauses between one in-breath and the following out-breath, and between one out-breath and the following in-breath. There's no need to try to control your breathing in any way. Simply let the breath breathe itself. As best you can, also bring the attitude of allowing to the rest of your experience. There is nothing to be fixed, no particular state to be achieved. As best you can, simply allow your experience to be your experience without needing it to be other than it is. Sooner or later, usually sooner, your mind will wander away from the focus on the breath in the lower abdomen to thinking, planning, daydreaming, drifting along, whatever. This is perfectly okay. It's simply what minds do. It is not a mistake or a failure. When you notice that your awareness is no longer on the breath, gently congratulate yourself. You have come back and are once more aware of your experience. You may want to acknowledge briefly where your mind has been. Ah, here's thinking. Then gently escort your awareness back to a focus on the changing pattern of physical sensations in the lower abdomen, renewing the intention to pay attention to the ongoing in breath or out breath, whichever you find. No matter how often you notice that your mind has wandered, and this will quite likely happen over and over again, as best you can, congratulate yourself each time on reconnecting with your experience in the moment, gently escorting your attention back to the breath and simply resume awareness of the changing pattern of physical sensations that come with each in breath and out breath. As best you can, bring a quality of kindliness to your awareness, perhaps seeing the repeated wanderings of the mind as opportunities to bring patience and gentle curiosity to your experience. Remind yourself from time to time that the intention is simply to be aware of your experience in each moment as best you can. Using the breath as an anchor, you gently reconnect with the here and now each time you notice that your mind has wandered and is no longer down in the abdomen following your breath. For sitting meditation, Here are a few helpful hints. It's worth taking some time to find a sitting position that works for you. The idea is to find a comfortable, stable sitting position with your back erect but not stiff. It's fine to use a chair. There's nothing special about sitting on the floor, although some people find it more comfortable. If you use a chair, choose one that has a straight back and allows your feet to be flat on the floor with your legs uncrossed. It is best if you can to sit well away from the back of the chair so that your spine is self-supporting. If you sit on a soft surface on the floor, use a firm, thick cushion or a meditation bench or stool. That raises your bottom 3 to 6 inches off the floor and allows your knees to touch the floor. You have the choice of 3 different ways to sit. You can sit on a cushion, drawing one heel in close to your body and folding your other leg in front of it. Or you can kneel with a cushion between your feet, or you can sit on a meditation bench or stool. Experiment with the height of the cushions or bench until you feel comfortable and firmly supported. Whatever you sit on, arrange things so that your knees are lower than your hips. When you sit with your knees lower than your hips, your lower back will have a gentle inward curve and your spine will be self-supporting. Rest your hands in your lap or on your thighs. Many people find a bench the ideal way to get the right posture. You can experiment with adding cushions or a folded blanket to get the height just right for you. And remind yourself of the daily activity to which you chose to bring mindfulness last week. And now choose a new and different routine activity that you can also include in the scope of this practice of daily mindfulness. By making a deliberate intention to bring mindfulness to both these activities this week, you can reinforce and extend your commitment to be mindful in everyday life. At the end of the week, take a few moments to reflect on your experience of this practice as a whole. It won't be part of assigned home practice from now on, but many people find they like to extend this practice on their own. Can you think of one positive effect that might make you want to continue deliberately cultivating the intention to be mindfully present with the daily activities of your life? And to finish up, let's talk about the pleasant experiences calendar. Each day, aim to be aware of one pleasant experience as it is happening. The experience can be quite ordinary, something as simple as hearing a bird sing or noticing the smile on the face of a child. The important thing is that it has a pleasant feel to it. There are 2 parts to this practice. The first is consciously choosing what you pay attention to by looking out for pleasant experiences. And the second part is consciously choosing how you pay attention by focusing on the separate aspects of each pleasant experience, the pleasant feeling itself and any other feelings around, any thoughts going through your mind, and the sensations in your body. And you can ask yourself these questions to focus your awareness on the details of the experience as it is happening. What was the experience? What sensations did you feel in your body in detail? What moods or feelings did you notice? What thoughts went through your mind? What thoughts are in your mind now as you think about these things? Many of us end up tuning out unpleasant feelings as a way of self-protection. In the long run, this simply doesn't work. It also means we numb out more generally from all feelings, unpleasant and pleasant. In this way, we cut ourselves off from much of the potential richness of life and from our mind and heart's deep potential for healing. Paying attention directly to the simple sense of whether an experience is pleasant or not can reconnect us with the wider world of feeling and open us more fully to the wonder of being alive. And then at the end of the week, take a moment to reflect on your experience with the pleasant experiences calendar. You can write down one thing worth remembering that you learned or noticed. And here's a passage called Dreaming the Real by Linda France. I'm lying down looking at the color of sky falling through trees, dreaming the real, tasting what it feels like to love it. Why did it take me so long to let go? Simply exhale so the day could breathe itself in and open without me standing in the way? How could I forget the grace of my own body, strong as this blue, tender as the white of the wild blossom, warm as midday light? Let me practice a patience bold enough to hold every weather, trusting the elements, the beauty of rain, all its shades of gray. I want whatever is real to be enough. At least it's a place to begin, and to master the art of loving it. Feel it love me back under my skin.